Right boys, welcome to another episode. I'm hiding on the table here, I'm lurking. But it's all for good reason, because my friend has just bought himself a diver slosh in the second-hand shop. Good deal he got on that as well. It's I've checked it over, it's looking alright, but he just wants me to have a bit more of a look at it. Just first off, sorry, it's a dishwasher, just stopped. I was wondering what that beeping was. First off, we've had a couple of sessions, I've been doing some, so I'll try and put it just there. So we caught a few strap conger the other day, got up early one morning, and none of the biggies were on the feed, but we had a few small ones. That was really good, and like I say, nothing else happened in the session, so I didn't want to blog too much of it, because just a pretty chilled out day, and it was nice and hot, boiling by the end of it. I was wearing my jumper, as you can see, and whew, I was steaming. And then later on in the episode as well, I'll show you what happened last night. We had another evening session, which went alright. There you go, so you got something to look forward to there. During this episode, I'm going to show you just quickly how to oil it up, being very careful with oiling it up, because it's a second-hand multiplier, so we need to see what's been going on inside it, if there's been any little bodge jobs, or you know, just play around with it and make sure that when we give it that first cast, it's not going to bird's nest us up. So we'll set it up a bit as well, and I'll show you how to do that, and hopefully you'll find it useful. I'll sit up there, rearrange the camera, and make sure we can bloody see what I'm doing. So, things we're going to need: do a little small maintenance check and just make sure everything's working alright and that it's going to cast alright, is an elastic band, just to put all of your little screws and stuff in. I think we've only got 3 because we're only checking out this side, we're not going to go in depth on that. I was a bit annoyed because I realised, I thought, oh yeah, I'll do a video about you know, a little bit of maintenance, and I fixed my bloody slosh the other day when it packed up on me, and I got all this undone, and I should have made a video about that. That would have helped you out. Yeah, that was a very challenging one. That was we took it all apart. Oh, that was sweaty, scary times. I was rubbing my brow just like a surgeon. Oh, but this will be nice and easy. Got some tissue and some lighter fluid, so we can get off any of the cack or crap that's built up inside. Be interesting to see what it's like inside, actually, because it's a second-hand reel, but he got it at a good price, so hopefully it'll be alright. Now we've got some yellow rocket fuel. Some might say that's too much. I'm putting the tiniest amount in, and I'm going to see if it's been pre-oiled already or if it's just got the manufacturer's oil in it. And a good method to kind of figure this out is put it in free spool, put some sellotape on the line, give it a good spin, and just stop spinning there. With a really nice oiled up reel that's going to cast really well. You know, you could be looking for up to anything past 20 seconds, you know, like manufacturer standard for some of these multipliers. You give them a good flick and they're going for a good 20 seconds, but he's not quite there, but we'll get him up to there. We'll have a little play around, but be very cautious with this. I've used this on mine, and I ain't had hardly any bird's nest with my slosh. So some say it's too much oil, too many revolutions, but I'm going to be very cautious with that. You ain't got to worry about that. And then we've got our drill bits and our drill, just our screwdriver, should I say. We're not going to be drilling into anything, just to make sure that we can get it all open. So alright, first things first, we'll get our hacksaw and we'll just hack it. I'm only joking. My mate will see this video and he'll go, oh Christ, he's got a bloody hacksaw on it. I'm not going to do any of that. We can throw that away, we don't need that. First thing we're going to do is find the right screw for these small screws on the side here. All of these, I always like to loosen them up together so it does come off as one. And keep going. And another thing to note with these multipliers is you want to make sure when you're screwing them up and unscrewing them, you don't put them down too tight. You'll wear away at the screw, and then it will be difficult to get your screw head in there to try and undo it. So lightly is the best way with these. One thing I did notice on this reel, was that the handle, screw on the handle was being corroded away. This is probably why these guys have got rid of it, because the handle is quite loose. It's going to need some looking at a later date. I might try and look into that, but pretty much this screw is so buggered that if we want to do anything with this handle, we'd have to screw into that small screw to then be able to get it all off and stuff. But for the minute, it's okay. Handle's still turning. It's just a little bit loose, but it's no biggie. We'll get the last one out. There we go. Another good thing to do as well is when you're going to be taking this apart, no matter what side you're working on, handle side or the other side, always put it into free spool, the multiplier. It helps. It means all the mechanisms aren't locked up on the insides and stuff. So there we go. We've unscrewed it, and we'll take our top off, and he just pops off like that. Then we can get on the inside of it. Now that we've got our main head off, which actually on the inside is looking pretty clean. It's looking good. He's got a good bloody deal here. This spool just comes out, and then we're looking on the inside, and I'm not going to have to do much of this at all. I'm going to take the old line off. I will put a little bit of oil in there, just because when I was trying to spin it and rotate it, it was slowing down quite fast. I'll put some oil in there. I'll clean up around the edges with some of the lighter fluid. I'll also lighter fluid the screws as well, so they fit in nice, and I can give this a nice brush up as well, and possibly even lubricate the mechanism for that, because it's quite stiff for the drag setting. So I'll do that as well and just clean that a little bit up. So now that we've got our spool of line off, we're going to get some toilet tissue, pop it into a square, get some of our lighter fluid, and just drizzle a little bit on the toilet tissue, and don't bloody breathe it in. There we go. And then we'll just work it around any spots that we see that we think might look a bit mucky. There we go. Guys, this is relatively clean. I'm not getting too much crap off here. And then there is another small bit on the inside as well, which I can get at. And on the base as well, we'll make sure we get the base. One thing I did want to tell you guys about was when I was fixing the my slosh. I had a small container with lots of little compartments in it, and I numbered it all, because taking this apart there is a lot that can go wrong, and you need to make sure you're putting everything back in its right place. But as long as you're sensible about it, and you're thinking about it, and you're seeing what you're taking off, and you've got the diagrams that come with the slosh, which that's in trouble with this one, it didn't, and mine didn't as well, so I had to figure it out for myself. Then yeah, just take your time. And that is looking relatively clean. Now, one thing to know, I've already said it before, very cautious with this stuff. Some of you guys are going to say this is too much, but I assure you it's not. I've fitted my slosh up with it, so we literally want one small drop. So there's one, that's dropped in nice. It's gone straight down into the bearing. We're going to put one on this side as well. There we go. Another drop in there. There was a little bit of crap that came out there as well, but that's all good. And then this spool is looking relatively clean as well. So when we take the spool off, we have one breaker here, and when it's spinning, this breaker, see, it can slide up and down. It can actually slide up and down there. When we've cast right out, it flicks up to the top and it slows the spin down. Normally there'd be one on the bottom as well, so I'm gonna have to look into that, because I'd prefer it if there was another one on the bottom for him, so we're getting two brakes, so it's rotating relatively slow and it's balancing it as well. That's all those breakers are, and it's amazing that one little piece of plastic like that can have such a difference. Once I've fitted this up, I'm just gonna nip down the side and give it a few casts. we're going to pop him back down, back in. We've cleaned it all out. We've popped him back in. We've noted that he's got only one breaker on there. This is all cleaned up now, relatively clean. And just to maybe ease the mechanism going back and forth, we can get some of this oil and just pop him in the mechanism as well. There we go, and give him a couple of clicks on and off. Nothing worse than that when you get a ratchet off the conger and you're going, oh right, tighten the star drag up, click it off, click it on, and then you know you're trying to click it off and on. That was a bit tight, so that'll loosen it up a bit as well. It's already loosening up. There we go. So like I say, very careful with that stuff, but just a drop of that. And then we've got our 3 screws, which we will also clean up. He's back in on there. Just keep him like that for a second. Best thing I find with this, just to clean these screws off, is just pop them on some tissue and just give them a little bit of lighter fluid. That'll clean any of the crap off there as well. There we go. But like I say, what a deal, man. He really got a good one there. For this slosh new, I think you're looking at anything upwards of 80 for a Daiwa slosh. And he said, my friend, when he went into the shop, he said he saw a few other reels as well which were worth looking at. So I've popped them all back in. We'll get our screwdriver on the right setting. He's down in there nice and tight, and we'll just start screwing these screws back in. And somebody's knows what they're doing, because these screws don't look worn at all. They wear away. They can wear away so quick, these screws. And I'm not going to tighten them up too tight, just enough. There we go. He's in. He's in. And the seal as well, the seal around there. As long as that seal's nice and tight, you don't want no salt water getting in there, my god. The ratchet's sounding good now, and we can flick him on and off. There we go, now he's off. I think he was pretty much barren. I couldn't, pretty much couldn't see anything going on there. Like, yeah, still going. There we go. So we've got a small improvement just by cleaning out some of the crap and adding some oil. We've got a small improvement on the time that it's rotating. Still going. Still going, now stop. So, you know, the really good ones are going to just keep going on you on their axle. The next thing, another little tip. So now that we've cleaned him out and we've oiled him up, we're going to check and make sure he's balanced all right on the actual spool. And he's not with this line. Somebody's been giving it all over the bloody shop with their thumb. I don't know what they've been doing with that. They ain't got much line on it either, but looks like they could have been congering, because they got some good 30-35 pound line on here. So I wonder if this reel's seen any conger yet. Who knows? So this is the tip. Let's say we grab our spool and our reel is moving side to side like this, left to right. Hear that click? With this dial on the side, it's just in here. We're going to start tightening it very slowly, and we're going to keep listening for that click. Still clicking, still some movement there. And what we're looking for is this. There's not as much movement in this now. You can hardly see it moving, and it's clicking. We'll keep going, we'll keep tightening. Now it's hardly moving, it's just my fingers moving really. You can't really see, this is the small section you're looking at, you can't really see it budging in and out of the reel, but you can hear that click. That's the balance that you're looking for. A little bit more, tighten it a bit more. You can hear that click. There's no movement there. I'd probably be looking at that. Good enough. There we go. So all that means is when you go and cast it out, this spool is balanced, and it's giving some of the, when the line's coming out and it's going left to right actually in the spool, it's holding it back as a brake. If we were to completely loosen this off, and this, you could see this spool moving, going in and out of the actual spool, it would be casting out, it'd be going all over the shot. You get a lot more bird's nest. Personally, if you're starting off with a multiplier, I'd put it up to the max with just the most minutest of movement and click, just to start off with, because it's going to make sure you don't get as many bird's nests. And then gradually, as we get more and more experience with casting, we can start backing this off until we can start really seeing the spool move. And it's more the knowledge of when you've casted it. It's more the touch. When you pair this out with a rod and you go for that big cast, for some reason you just feel it in your hands. But if you were to pair this up with a different rod, even though you've been using another rod, you start getting bird's nest on it. It's all about the release, the way that your rod flicks the lead out, things like that. So I hope you found that useful. Pretty much just a small maintenance check. The oil only needs doing once a year, possibly even less. So next thing to do is, because my friend has actually got some line he's going to put on that, £30, that's the plan. So he's going to put some 30 on that, but I'm going to unravel this, put it on a rod and unravel it, level wind it up to make sure it's all good, and then I'm just going to take it out and have a couple of casts with it. Nothing massive, just want to make sure that this is working okay, so he's good to go for next time. When I was unspooling it, I've just noticed some salt around here, just where the line starts, so I'm going to quickly grab some more tissue, some clean tissue this time, and get some of my lighter fluid and get that salt off the sides. There we go. Pretty difficult to show the camera, but I'm just getting on the inside of this lip here, just where the salt line is, and just wiping that away. I might time lapse this bit just so you can see it all going on really quick. So there we go, guys, that's his. Right, just get all this other bundle of curly old line out the way. It's been on there for a while, isn't it? This is as much as we managed to get back on. And like I say, it's not quite enough. I'd normally spool it up to the lip. See this lip here? I'd do it a couple mil underneath that, then that would be a filled up line for me. You don't want to overfill your spools because they'll unravel. You've got more chance of knotting up. I'll pair it up with this one, and we'll just nip down the car park and just a couple gentle lobs just to make sure he's ticking over and he's alright. So yeah, we'll give it a go. See you in a bit down there. Just spooling it. That was awesome. I'm a little bit jealous. Just took all the line off the reel first cast. Absolutely flew, so it's all set up. Good job. Now that I've stopped bloody blabbering on about multipliers and how you set them up, let's have a look at some more footage from last night. This was a bit risky with that dog around there, so yeah.
recording. God, that's clean.
Is that pulling off, is it?
It's pulling off, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you've got the fresh bait, so I reckon they come like buses, so keep an eye on your rod.
Keep an eye on mine, but it's not even set up yet. You got the right stuff on this, lift it up. There we go.
Nice one.
A big fish, isn't it?
Watch out, he's going to kick it.
There's a dog.
Oh shit.
Come on.
Oh no, you bugged me.
Come on. Get that dog out of the way, man.
Get the dog out of the way.
Right, watch out for his head, Mark.
That was amazing with that dog, wasn't it? Oh, I was so worried. I thought he was going to have his snout or something, but man, that's what you get. And you know, I'm not blaming them for not putting on a lead. That's fair enough as well. So yeah, it's just one of those things. Glad he's all right. Glad Mr. Conger's all right. And yeah, we'll be getting out again soon. It was a nice chilled out session. I'm going to get my head down though, and hope you enjoyed just seeing some of that rod bending action. Kind of. I'd probably class him actually, having weighed up a few now. He had no belly on him, that one at the end, so he probably only went about 5 or 6, maybe not even that, maybe 4 or 5, and the other two, well, £2 pound, something like that. Really scratching around there, wouldn't we? We had him on the big 8.0s, so never fathom. But yeah, you have a good one, guys. I'll see you next time.